Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. I just felt like get that out. Hello, babes. Hello. Hello. Today, I want to talk to you about, first of all, if you've seen this outfit a lot. Yes, this is this is the dress I've been worried about all day. Let's switch it up. Let's get some arm time for some of these videos. But yes, I've made all these videos in one setting, and if I did use the same dress 25 times, Sarah, you see it. But anyways, hello babes, and welcome back. And so really quickly, I just want to share some encouraging words with you about trusting yourself. So first and foremost, let me start off by saying you need to trust God first. He needs to be the first line of defense. All right, you cannot do this by yourself, and in order to do this next step, you're going to need a man named Jesus. All right, because we just cannot cope or function without the Lord. Like, we are bombing it out here, okay, on every hand, Sarah. And so, you know, if you're new right here, hello, welcome to the channel. But one thing about me is I didn't really see this being a part of my life again. Okay, I tried YouTube. It was a complete disaster to me. And this was just not really what I wanted from the Lord. Like, you know, I wanted to sing. I did not want to do YouTube. And then I did want to do YouTube, but it wasn't like what I started out ever wanting to do. You know, like as a child, I was never a kid like, I'm gonna be on YouTube someday. You know, like I just never had this in my future. And even when I was coming back to content making and stuff, once again, I never saw this in my future, but the Lord willed it, you know. And when I started talking to the Lord, and when I started figuring out what it was I wanted for my life, and I guess even my pastor said this, how I wanted to help, how I wanted to be willing and useful to the Lord. You know, the more I thought about that, the more I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do content. Now, doing content and starting content, for me, it was different. It was different. I was worried, like, what people say about the fact that I have, you know, Bible verses at the start of my video, or the fact that, like, my videos, even though, like, you know, you get to see this pretty little thing, I'm always trying to point you back to the Lord. Because to me, it don't matter if I say too much of nothing if you can't see the Lord in me, in this channel, in anything that I do. Like, I need him to be your center of focus. And so that was one thing for me. I always wanted to feel like the Lord covered me whenever I did do content. You know, if I uploaded a scripture before I posted my photos or my videos, I have his word first. He is my covering. You know, he covers me. That is my way to acknowledge him, because in all of my human efforts, they are human efforts. You know, I don't always know the right way, but I am believing that I do know the right way. And I'm trying to trust the Lord that if I walk after him and I do things with the utmost purest intentions to lift him up, then it'll be well, right? Even though, like, it comes with its own backlashes and everything. We ain't worried about that, okay? But so when I started doing content and trying to forge my path, I'm gonna be honest with you, people left. Friends who said that they wanted to do the same thing as me, or in the end I found out they wanted to do what I was doing, they left. You know, they didn't support. I mean, please, a video today will get 1 like. I don't know when you're gonna see this and what it's gonna look like for you, but let me attest right now, we've seen some small days, some humble beginnings. We've had people literally, right now, I have people that I know who won't support what I post, but they'll literally rip off everything I said and go and make their own post, you know? And so when I was first starting this out, things like that used to bother me. I mean, that was one of the biggest criteria for why I didn't want to do this, because, and I'm gonna say this, as a kid growing up, people used to do things to me like take my hairstyles, or, you know, if I wanted yellow cookies, it seemed like everybody wanted yellow cookies. You know, if I wanted to highlight my hair fuchsia, and suddenly we're all plums out here. Like, it was just never like I could do things or have things. And when I did try to do and have, it was a problem, right? And so I feel like that in itself made me very like nervous about starting YouTube, and just nervous to starting content in general, you know, because I do YouTube, I do the podcast, I do face paint, you know, I draw, and that drawing was another skill that like the Lord really developed for me, because we were struggling out here big time, okay? And I've always wanted to draw, and I used to be super sad about it, because my brother and my mother could draw these portraits, bro, and I'm stuck with a stick figure that barely got some hair. Sarah was struggling on the pictures, and so I didn't feel very confident, very called and qualified, you know, to do content, to do cosplay, especially in the form of like digital art, because that's not how I saw it, and that's not how I wanted it, you know? And so even in every area of my life where my hands have touched things, where, you know, different parts where I've had to go out and see if this was the opportunity for me, if this wasn't the opportunity for me, you know, if I was going to be able to lose weight, like if I was going to be able to drink, you know, a gallon of water a day, and all these things, I truly had to trust myself. I had to trust the Lord first, yes, but I had to trust and believe I could do this. I had to hype myself up. I had to look in the mirror and be like, you're beautiful, okay? But you need to put, because even at one point in time, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I didn't feel like I was pretty enough to look in the mirror. I didn't think I deserved to be alive. I didn't think I was worthy of love. I didn't think anybody would want to look at me. I was like, I am a big, hideous ogre, bro. Don't nobody want to look at me. You know, like, I've always had bad things to say about myself. And even when, I'm telling y'all, I've told my best friend this, it seems like for half my life, all I knew was sorrow. And that sounds completely sad, but like when I think back on my life, there were great moments, but it was like I was constantly crying. I was constantly upset about something. Somebody was constantly ruining my day with something, with an opinion of me or a perception of me. You know, I was constantly letting people stress me out. I was constantly so concerned with other people being, you know, in tune and invested. I wanted people's validations. I wanted everybody's validations, and I was so concerned with that, you know? And so rededicating my life back to the Lord and truly feeling like I was, and this is so funny, and I don't know why the Lord is causing me to talk about this. I'm just going to believe it's going to serve a better purpose. But for somebody, I literally felt like when I gave my life back to the Lord, I was reborn again. Like, I know we do get reborn again when we get baptized, you know? But just in my spiritual walk, that alone to me felt like that was a renewal. Like, truly my old man died, you know? And so as I was trying to forge this new path and really understand the Lord and like really get serious with him and be like, I'm messed up, so we need you immediately. And so when he came through for us, it was like, okay, yeah, this is the better side of better. But I'm telling y'all, when I do content, when I make posts, if I'm cooking a meal, sometimes it's very easy for me to get caught up in overthinking. Will they like this? Will they hate this, that? All these excuses. Trust yourself. Trust and believe that if the Lord called you to this particular situation, he knows you can handle it. And so what it don't look like you can. So what it looks scary. So what you don't feel qualified. The Lord obviously qualified you because he called you to that position. And when you are first starting out something for the Lord, you're like, oh, that's how I feel. I was like, I don't know how to do any of this you're asking me to do. I don't know how to just get on, you know, it seems cool when I see people get on here and talk, but I bombed at this the first time I tried. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't do things like like normal people. I don't react like normal people. And, you know, I've never fit in with people. And so I try to use all these things to disqualify myself because I'm like, Lord, I just can't even cook it. I'm like, I can't make the spaghettis, Jesus. Like, you know, there was always an excuse for why I could not do what the Lord said before me. And you just can't be like that. And it is scary, okay? It is hands down terrifying sometimes what the Lord will say to you or ask you to do. You're like, who's going to walk on this water? You sure it ain't muddy down there? Because this don't look right, Lord. But you have to trust that if he told you to get on that water, surely he is going to uphold your feet if you have faith and you trust and believe in him. That's why I said the first step is going to be having a foundation with the Lord. Because in order for anything else in your life to make sense on this journey with God, knowing that God is God, God is so sovereign, and everything comes back to God. I just feel like those are crucial points you need to know. You need to know that everything in your life truly works for your good because it's gonna lead you back to God and it's gonna point you back to God, or at least it should. You know, there should always be a way for you to just be like, at the end of all this, it don't matter because the Lord is going to have the final say. Or, you know, even if it's sometimes, you know, even I think like this sometimes, or even the enemy will tell me something like, well, what if you die before, like, you know, this and that happens? Well, if I died, I went to heaven, I went home with the Lord and he found it well. But I know he's not going to take me out before he gives me my promises because he promised me and he's not going to break his promise to me, okay? And so that is why you should have trust in the Lord, because if he promised you, he is not a man that is going to lie. Everything he said he's going to do, and the only thing that he ever said that he would do that he never did is the evil against Israel. He will repent from the destruction. Now, he repented of his, you know, evil thoughts to them, you know, to take them out and like give them over. But when they didn't get in line and they didn't do what he said do it, he done said it all many times, he would give them over to their destruction. But that was their doing, that, okay, not him. They would not hearken and listen to him. So the Lord is good. He is faithful. He is just. If he promised you a thing, he's not going to take his promises back. He don't lie. All right. If he said it, he will do it. If he promised, he's going to meet you there. But you have to trust him. And more than anything, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust that the Lord knows who you're going to become. You know, the Lord sees your final version. We got to remember, the Lord has already did all this. He done did this. He done did the final battle. Like we forget that the Lord has already authored and finished this story. When he went to the cross, Jesus said, it is finished. And now I'm sitting here with the belief, and I feel like the Lord is giving me the revelation that when he said it is finished, all of it was finished. He completed everything on the cross. Like, that is a revelation. Lord, you've told me that how many times? It's now clicking to me. When he said it is finished, he didn't mean the crucify was finished. He meant everything was finished. Every single thing that the Lord had to do was finished at the cross. Then he went to hell, got the keys, rose up out that bug and was like, y'all see a real one, okay? But for real. So, yes, trust yourself and trust that the same resurrection power in the Lord is the same resurrection power that is in the Lord, it is in you. So if he called you to a thing, it is because he believes you can do this thing. He knows. Nobody knows us like our Father knows us. Nobody knows this life or the world we live in like our Father knows. And who knows if perhaps you've been anointed for such a time as this. So be encouraged that the Lord does want to use you. You are mighty in his eyes. Like, don't diminish yourself and don't kick yourself when you're down, because the Lord don't like that. He wants you to speak kind to yourself and believe that you are more than a conqueror, and to believe that you reflect his express image and his love and his light. And if you cannot believe any of those things about yourself, perhaps you need to draw closer to him and really seek your heart and search your relationship out with the Lord. But if you find that you've done all you can do and you're standing, just stand, baby. Stand and believe that if he called you to it, it's because he's gonna help you through this. Lord willing, you are going to overcome everything. So, for today, please be blessed. Don't be stressed. Be encouraged. You are doing well in the land of the living, okay? And as always, the Lord does love and bless you. He really does love you, okay? May He keep you. I love you. I believe in you wholeheartedly. I'm rooting for you. And I hope whenever you hear this, you have the most incredible days, the most incredible of days, or the most incredible of nights. Goodbye, guys.